Hi, my name is Jenna Butler, and I'm on an off-grid organic farm in northern Alberta near Barhead.
And my name is Yvonne Blomer, and I'm in a backyard writing studio in Victoria, British Columbia on the west coast of Canada.
Back in April during National Poetry Month, we were having one of our weekly chats, finalizing one piece and starting another.
This collaboration started last year as we prepared for and attended a joint residency in Assisi, Italy. Our project consists of field notes based on women, desire paths, land, and body.
And an almanac seemed perfect for the time that we're now living in, a global pandemic in which we've all become more aware of time passing and the seasons shifting. And we were also inspired by a prompt on the National Poetry Month website, which was an almanac questionnaire.
We began by writing together on FaceTime in our separate real-time spaces, then disconnected for half an hour to type, edit, and refine what we'd written. We then reconnected and read our pieces out to each other. From there, we combined them, edited, and cut them down.
Since we began our pandemic almanac project, I've moved permanently from the city to my off-grid farm in northern Alberta.
We continue to write using technology to bring us together now that we can't connect in person. In May, we had booked a retreat to again walk side by side, talk into the night, and write. But we had to cancel it and shift how we collaborate. Technology has been hugely important.
The pandemic's altered the parameters of our project since our access to land, places and spaces, and each other has been greatly changed. We could never have anticipated the shift in the project, but nonetheless, we continue to collaborate. For example, right now, I'm using a solar array to be able to log into Zoom and record with Yvonne in her garden studio. So technology is changing and sculpting our collaboration and our writing in ways we couldn't have anticipated. At the same time that it makes things more challenging, for sure, it also shows the moments behind the screens. Two friends talking and working and connecting in spite of all of these global changes.
So with that, we'd like to introduce Pandemic Almanac, an essay in two voices. This is a poetic exploration based on the Farmer's Almanac and part of an ongoing collaboration between Jenna and myself.
Weather. Sunny, with a chance of super spreader and inclined curve.
Fine, with headwinds. Watch for fast clouds and falling branches.
Flora. Plantain, chickweed, dandelion, basket willow, aspen poplar, bulrush. Everything just breaking, starting up green. Pollen season.
In the backyard where I work, bluebells, camas, star lily.
Fauna. Mammals, reptiles, fish. Fawns, moose, garter snakes, trout fry, sticklebacks, sturgeon. Great prehistoric dreamers in the depths of the river, immune to cold water fluctuation. Fort Mac's upstream quagmire.
There are no fish here. Once in a patio pond there were, then bandits and a gray feathered ninja plotted against them, left a trail of scales on a bloody night. Canine, rabbit, rat, cat, deer over the fence, raccoons who make the fence their highway.
Architecture. The open sky. No roof, no walls, especially right now, no walls. Just the fields and the far horizon. Boreal firs, great expanse of sky.
What is the architecture of your day? East Coast salt shack in West Coast pine, reclaimed windows, dog in lap, painted wood boards, books in untidy stacks.
Customs. Sowing roots on the full moon, greens on the new moon. Twist of tobacco or wine poured out onto the ground to start the planting.
At 7 a.m., bring coffee to the shack, sit in chaise lounge, contemplate light and sound while pup ponders bird movement and groans. Pull weeds, plant more peas. Watch as house of chaos becomes house of swings.
Export. A, like the cigarettes you smoked unfiltered, 2 packs a day until your partner's daughter came to live with you, and you stopped overnight and took up neuroses instead.
Not breath, not tongue between teeth, not skin cells or sweat. My guffaw heard over the fence, my wahoo springing from the trampoline.
Conspiracy. Sugar, soy, beef, insulin, Obamacare, Social Security, vaccinations. The truth is out there.
We have conspired against ourselves. The bluebells grow, the hydrangea burst with leaves. Petals from the pear tree scatter on the steps. We are caged, the natural world in spring.
Dress. Above the knee but below mid-thigh, a full skirt for gathering stones, windfall apples, barn kittens for the drowning pond.
I sew another patch onto my jeans. They are Jackson Pollock, Frida Kahlo. They are Greenpeace, if they last for a museum. If they last, perhaps the earth's greenness held by each patch I sew and replace.
Today's news headline. American president advocates for injecting Clorox to fight COVID-19, and no, this is not a tabloid.
Today is Monday, the whatever of whatever month. The sun is shining. Put down all your devices. Go outside.
Story read to children at night. Something in which the people are just as gruesome and self-absorbed as we know them to be in reality. Something that ends in happiness exactly as frequently as we work for it.
There is a story called Black Dog about a giant dog and a tiny child called Hope. Hope goes outside, tricks it into shrinking in size, and sings a teasing song. Worry places this virus on every surface. I watch Dr. Bonnie Henry for the straight goods. A friend who has been isolating tests negative. The black dog of me is back to its manageable size, and Hope dances a quiet waltz.
What you fear, that you are aging behind a closed border, and I am reconciling myself to the slow diminishment of your body in my mind's eye.
I fear leaving more than I fear death, though I'd like to avoid pain, and all the pain will be wrapped in leaving my son when the time comes.
Astronomy. The dipper turning on its handle above the locus of your farm. Cassiopeia and her wide hips sway, Orion's spraddle. No contrails cross-hatch the bold puddle of moon. On the southeastern horizon, the city's light pollution is a dull bronze, as though the glow has been beaten out of it.
The moon, a thief to the sun. Stars now visible as the bees, fat and dark on the bluebells. This universe from studio steps to garden swing is a hummer's Milky Way.
Gardening. Acres of beets and potatoes, kale and chard, limber wheat. Filch chickweed and bush tea, wild rose, spruce. Shake green heads of cattails to gather pollen for pancakes. Sliver small threads of aspen bark to yeast your bread.
We will have peas and beans, garlic. Have already eaten kale and 2 radishes, broccoli that overwintered purple. My husband misses his father, how they competed over the phone to see who was eating the most homegrown veg.
Food. What you will eat because you cannot purchase medicine or chance a doctor's office. crampbark, white willow, bearberry, cleavers and plantain and stinging nettle. You will root and browse, bumble and scuff, your body grown hoary with forest, ursine.
Our fridge accordions from bursting to bare. If we can go 14 days without shopping or leaving, we can go and see my dad. Kuchi sabishi, to eat because your mouth is lonely. This hunger, a kind of desire.
Home and health. Home will grow silent as the weeks pass or explode with frayed nerves, depression pyrotechnics. You will find one another around the enormity of your fear, or the bed will be a semi-populated territory where your husband wraps himself in a midnight duvet against the cold.
Trump has a lot of idiotic plans. If he decides insulin will cure COVID-19, that'll be the end of me.
Kids. Family farm without family is rattle-boarded, barbed-wired, glass-sharded, weed-devoured, tool-strewn, poplar-punctured, tongueless. The gift of place without children laid down like a knife edge across the forearms.
Today, the BC Minister of Education told us not to worry about trying to fill the day with school, conceded that families with special needs kids, like mine, may need more support. My friend writes, her son has broken all the picture frames. Already, I've hung myself upside down to swallow my tears.